We're doing the second day of installment buying today, and the main focus of today is actually looking at credit card statements and what you are paying, okay? So usually in a credit card statement, you get a couple things. If you look at this example credit card statement, if you look at the top of it, it shows you what your previous balance was, and it shows you what your last payment was, and other credits and purchases. This is kind of the summary up at the top. If you look down further on this credit card, it also tells you what exactly that what you paid for with your credit card. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys is to, first of all, make sure that you check this every month. I know it takes some time, but there could be an error on the store part, or somebody might have used your credit card, and you need to make sure that you're not being charged for something that you actually didn't purchase. Okay, especially with this Target debacle that we've had recently with all the stolen credit card numbers, you need to really pay attention to it. Okay? So, don't be lazy with this stuff or you're going to lose money. So here's an example of a credit card. And one of the things the main thing we're looking at today, because we want to figure out how much interest is due, we need to look at previous balance, payments, and total of purchases or balance transfers. Okay? So, going back to our page that I started over here, we are mostly using this formula, I equals PRT, which you guys have been using probably since middle school. P being the principal, R being the rate in decimal, and T being the time. So the first definition you need to write down is there's 3 different types of payment balance methods that define P. This is all to find the letter P. Okay, and your credit card should tell you before you sign up for it which method they use. So, the unpaid balance method, that's where the principal is found by looking at the balance of the first day minus the payments and the credits. The second one is the previous balance method. So the principal is found by just looking at the balance on the first day of the statement. It doesn't even take into account your credits.
The unpaid balance method is definition.
The first one? So it's only looking at what you haven't paid for yet. So this one, it's the balance minus what you paid. This one's just the balance.
Hang in there.
And the last one, I'll show you an example in a minute, okay?
Nope.
The last one is the average daily balance. So it's going to take an average of what your balance is over the month.
It'd be better if there were days.
All right, so the credit card has a monthly rate of 1.8%. Okay, so it tells you that. And it says that the unpaid balance is $6,800. A payment was made of $500 on January 8th. That's an important fact. Okay? There are no purchases or cash advances in this period, and a payment due date is February 9th. Find the interest due on this date on each of the 3 methods calculating the credit card interest. So the first one we need to look at, we got to find what our unpaid balance is, and that's what our P value is on this. And that is $6,800 minus $500. That's going to be $6,300. So if I do I equals P little RT, that's going to be 6,300 times my rate. What was that in decimal point? Yep. And then we're looking at just 1 month. Okay? So my interest in this one is $113.40. So that's the unpaid balance method. Now, if I go on and I want to figure out the previous balance method, my p-value is simply the balance at the beginning of the month. That is just 6,800. So my I equals PRT is going to be I is 6,800 times 0.018 times 1. And if you put that in a calculator, you get $122.40. All right, the very last one on this page is the average daily balance. So this is where you got to pay attention to when you paid the balance before. So here we have 6,800. We had that value until January 8th. So how many days is that of that month? Nope. 7. 7 days of that month we had 6,800. So I'm going to write that down. $6,800 times 7. Okay? And then we made a $500 payment on January 8th. So how many days left of the month did I have if it's a 31-day month? 24 days left. Okay? So I had 6,300 left for 24 days of the month. So I'm going to add all that up and divide that by 31 days. We're looking at the average daily balance. Okay, if you put that in there, you're calculating out, you will have a total of, pardon me? Okay, this is the amount of days that we had the balance of 6,800 until we made a payment of $500. Then there was 24 days left of the month. Okay, so my p-value on this is 6,412.90 cents. That is the p in this case. So if I put that into my interest formula, I have 6,412.9 times 0.018 times 1. That is $115.43. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys understand the difference between the 3 different methods I gave you the definition for just a minute ago. All right? All right, let's go to the page before, the middle page. So on this one it says a credit card calculates interest using unpaid balance method. The APR is 19.2% on the first day of the billing period, less payments and credits. Here are some details. It's a 31-day month again, okay? And here's the details on the left side. One of the things you need to know is what is your daily APR. This is our monthly APR is 19.2. I'm sorry, we need to find our monthly. This is our yearly APR. We need to find our monthly. So if we take 19.2 divided by 12, this is our monthly APR here. We need that value to find our interest. So that's the first step on this. Okay, so here my principal is going to be $4,720 minus the deposit that I made, which was $1,000, times 0.016 times 1, and that is the amount interest. All right, so if I scroll down, I want to find out what my balance owed on the last day of the billing period. So I take the total of the beginning minus my deposit. I'm going to add the interest that I accrued, and notice that I bought a computer and some meals with that. So I need to add that into it. So I have $1,025 plus 45, and that means my total balance at the end of the month should be $4,849.52. The last part that I need to go over with you guys is how to find what I'm going to pay. What's the minimum payment that they make? So one of the things it says is that you need to pay at least $10 a month, but the credit card will charge you, if you have over $360 in your account, they will charge you 1/36 of the total price that you have. So the balance owed we had before was $4,849.52, and I'm going to divide that by 36. So that is the payment that I will have to make at minimum at the end of the month. Now, should I always only make my minimum payment? No. Why? Too much interest, right? You should make more than that. If you really want to get to a healthy financial life, you need to pay more than the minimum payment. You shouldn't even have a balance at the end of the month. You should pay it off. Okay?